Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a tube top or a dress if you want to make it long enough for it to be a dress. I'm going to show you how to do that. You will need your measurements, tape measure, something to weigh your paper down because we're going to do a pattern, scissors, something to mark with, and straight edge. You don't really need this curved ruler, but if you have one, that's great. Okay, you will need a few measurements around the upper part of your bust. You will need your bust measurements, your waist, your hip. So if you do not have those measurements, go ahead and press pause and get those measurements. Okay? So if you are ready to get started, I have cut out, it's 24 inches wide and it's 38 inches long. I'm gonna make a dress. So I want mine to be a little bit longer, but I'll let you know where you can stop if you wanna make a top, okay? Okay, I'm gonna be working with this side that's closest to me is the fold. And once I get finished, with all of my measurements, I will place over here on this side, place on fold. So I will remember when I get ready to put this on my fabric that I need to place this side on the fold, okay? So we're gonna get started. This is a tube top or dress that we're doing, and like I said, this side is the fold. So the first thing you wanna do is you wanna start up here at the top, and you wanna come down. You want to come down the side about 3.5 inches and mark it. And this is where your bust is going to start. So whatever your bust measurement is, you're going to divide that by 4. Okay? And you're going to mark, you're going to make a straight line across. Okay, and remember you are dividing each one of these numbers by 4. So this is your waist. You divide that number by 4 and you go straight across. Okay, now from your waist, you're going to go down to your hip about 8.5 inches. Make a mark. This is your hip, and whatever your hip measurement is, you're going to divide it by 4. And draw a straight line. Okay, now we're going to do the armhole. You're going to start up at the top and you're going to come down about 3.5 inches. And you're going to mark it. I'll just put a dot right up there. And then you're going to come out. You're going to go out from that point. You'll stop right at the bust and you'll come out about 1 inch. And mark that. I don't think my paper is on. There we go. So you come out about 1 inch and mark that. And then from this top, you're going to bring those two together. And you could just freehand it if you like. Okay? So the next measurement is your waist, and you're going to come down about 8 inches, 8 or 9 inches. It kind of depends on if you're a smaller size or a larger size. Come down 8 inches and mark that. Okay, so now I want to go down 10 inches because I am going to do a dress from my, I better label these, bust, waist, hip, If you are just making a shirt, I will go back up to that. But if you want to make the tube dress, you want to go down 10 inches will give you above the knee. If you want it a little bit longer than that, you can do that. So we'll mark that, and this is going to be our hem. And just draw a straight line across, and always make the same, whatever I did for my hips, I do the same thing for my hem. Okay? So this is the hem here, okay? Okay, now what we want to do is we want to join all these lines together. So from your armhole to your waist, from your waist to your hip, and from your hip to your hem, if you're making a full tube dress. I'm going to be using stretchy fabric, so I want this to fit a little bit, so I'm okay with this not having a seam allowance or much of a seam allowance. But in order to get your seam allowance, you just want to go here, go out an inch, and mark it here at the bust, at the waist, at your hips, and at your hem. And you're going to join these lines together just like you did for here, okay? Okay, now once you have completed that, added your seam allowance, you want to make sure that you have labeled each one of these lines, and if you want to, you can go ahead and put your measurements on each line. That way when you're using it, if you want to use it for someone else, you'll know what size bust, waist, hip this is. Okay, so now I want to go back. You've made the complete tube skirt. If you want to stop at the shirt and cut it, you'll go from the waist down about 6.5 inches. Depending on if you wanted to put elastic in the waist of it, or if you wanted it just to be straight. So if you want it just to be straight, you can go down about 6.5 inches in hem, or you could leave it where the hip is and add your elastic, about a 1.5 inch elastic around the bottom here, okay? Okay, now you can just leave your dress like that, or if you want to add sleeves, you can do that as well. We're going to start with the armhole, and you're going to go, again, this is the fold. We're going to do a sleeve. This side closest to me is the fold, and you're going to go out 9 inches and make your mark. From that mark, come down about 4 inches and make a mark. So you're going to make a mark 9 inches out, and then you, from that mark, you're going to go about 4 inches down. This is going to be where your armhole is going to be, over here on this side. This is the fold side. This is pretty simple. I'm going to grab my measuring tape. And you're going to go down. If you want shorter sleeves, you could do shorter sleeves. I'm going to do 20 inches. And I'm going to put an elastic around the bottom of my sleeve. So I'm going to do 20 inches, and I'm going to go out from there. Okay, I have cut my pieces out. I've got my dress, and I got it all labeled. And I've got my sleeve. Okay, I'm just going to show you using this paper. We're going to pretend like these are the tops. You place your fabric on the fold. So when you open your fabric, you'll have a whole front piece and you'll have a whole back piece. Now, you're going to do the same with the sleeves. You're going to place your pattern on the fold. So when you open it, you'll have your front and back part of your sleeve on both pieces. Okay, in order to put these pieces together, you're gonna alternate. So we're gonna get a shirt. This is gonna be this is the right side. That's the right side. So we're not confused here. You got your right side of your fabric. We're just pretending like these pieces are fabric. Okay? So in order to put them together, you're going to alternate them. You're going to make sure that the right sides are facing each other, and you're going to match the armholes up. Just like that. Okay, so when you open it back to the right side, it's like that. So for this one here, you're going to put the other top. So for the other side of the sleeve, you'll put the other top, because you got the front part of the shirt, the front part of the sleeve, the back part of the sleeve to the back part of the shirt. Okay? Like that. And then you will add this to the right side of the fabric of this one, and then this side will be connected here, and then you would bring this piece of fabric over to this armhole right here. Okay.